Ever wondered why the Israel-Palestine issue always makes headlines? Why has peace been so elusive? Let's unravel this together, and by the end, you'll have a clearer picture. And hey, if you find this helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more insightful content. The Israel-Palestine conflict is like an intricate web woven over decades with threads of territorial disputes, national identities, and geopolitical interests. Let's start from the beginning. Around the late 1800s, Zionist Jews began moving to Palestine, dreaming of a Jewish homeland. This movement got a boost in the early 1900s. But guess what? There were people already living there, the Arabs. And as more Jews moved in, tensions escalated. Enter the British, post-World War I, with their mandate over Palestine. Balancing the demands of Jews and Arabs? Not an easy task, and it sure didn't help the rising tensions. Then came the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. Why? The UN decided to split Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states. It's important here to notice that the plan to divide Palestine into two states, one Jewish and other Arab, was approved by 33 votes in favor, 13 against, and 10 abstentions. At the time, only 56 countries were members of the UN. It's also important to mention the year of this vote, which happened in 1947 before Israel proclaimed the establishment of the independent State of Israel. Israel announced its independence, and neighboring Arab states weren't too happy. This war laid down the blueprint for Israel, but displaced countless Palestinian Arabs. Jump ahead to 1967, the Six-Day War. Israel launched strikes against Egypt, Syria, and Jordan. It's important here to notice that the war was a strike launched in response to Egypt's mobilization of his forces along the Israeli border and his blockade of the Straits of Tiran, which prevented Israeli ships from accessing the Red Sea. The war wouldn't have begun if Egypt didn't mobilize its forces, blocking the Straits of Tiran. The result? They took over territories like the West Bank and Gaza Strip, reshaping the map and setting the stage for more clashes. And in 1973, surprise! Egypt and Syria launched attacks on Israel during Yom Kippur. Though Israel managed to fend off the assaults, it was a harsh reminder of the region's instability. Speaking of unrest, ever heard of the Intifadas? The first one kicked off in 1987 with Palestinians resisting Israeli occupation, through protests, strikes, and sometimes violence. This led to the Oslo Accords in 1993, a major peace agreement. But peace was fragile. A second intifada erupted in 2000, bringing with it bombings, assassinations, and intense confrontations. There have been serious attempts at peace. Remember the 2000 Camp David summit? It was an intense negotiation marathon, but no deal was struck. Then there was the Annapolis Conference in 2007, aimed at breathing new life into the peace talks, but again, no dice. Recently, in 2020, the Abraham Accords saw UAE and Bahrain normalizing relations with Israel. Not directly about the Israel-Palestine issue, but it sure shifted the regional dynamics. Fast forward to 2023. The challenges? Crafting a two-state solution. Israeli settlements are a sore point. Jerusalem's status? Both sides claim it as their capital. And Palestinian refugees? Their return remains a heated debate. In recent developments, Hamas, a Palestinian militant group, launched rocket attacks on Israel, escalating tensions in the region. These attacks have resulted in significant hostilities and prompted Israel to respond with airstrikes. The situation highlights the ongoing conflict and challenges to peace in the Middle East. In essence, this conflict isn't just about land or religion. It's about histories, identities, and hopes intertwined. It's a reminder that in the quest for peace, dialogue, understanding, and compromise are paramount. Can Israel and Palestine find their path to peaceful coexistence? Time will tell, but here's hoping that the beacon of peace shines brighter than ever in the Middle East. And that's a wrap for today. If you found this overview enlightening, do subscribe and join us again. Let's keep learning together.